High school and college athlete Tristan Gibson never thought something like this would happen to him. While he was still in high school, doctors discovered a cyst on his brain and told him likely it wouldn't grow, so life continued on as normal. In college, after an intense soccer practice where he suffered a concussion, everything changed. A scan revealed his brain was swelling, and what was expected to be a simple procedure quickly turned into something much more serious.
Over the next 4 months, Tristan went through multiple brain surgeries.
When he finally woke up, he had no memory of what had happened. The left side of his body had essentially been reset, and the life that he knew as an athlete was suddenly gone. Like many stroke survivors, Tristan found himself battling depression, anxiety, and the emotional toll that comes with your whole world being flipped upside down.
But somewhere along the way, something shifted.
Tristan began separating the person he was before the stroke from the person he was becoming afterward, and that mindset helped him start rebuilding his life.
Today, he's a stroke recovery coach, helping others rebuild their lives.
He now shares his journey, his philosophy, and the program he created to help other stroke survivors take back control of their recovery. Hi, Tristan. How you doing?
Getting better every day. How are you, my man?
That's how we are.
Yeah,
Each day gets better.
love to hear it.
Hell yeah.
So I came across Tristan Gibson on Instagram and was immediately impressed and inspired by his attitude and the energy he brings to recovery. He's also created this really unique identity around his journey, which we'll definitely get into in a little bit. I remember seeing his content the first time and immediately showing it to my dad because I thought the mindset he was sharing was so powerful. At some point along the way, Tristan made a really important shift. He started separating the person he was before the stroke from the person he was becoming afterward, and that helped him begin rebuilding his life with a completely different mindset. Over time, he was able to turn things around, become more positive, and start focusing on growth. Now he's sharing that journey, becoming active on social media, and even creating a program where he's helping other stroke survivors navigate recovery and take back control of their lives. Tristan, to kick things off, can you share a little bit about yourself, your age, your hometown, and what life was like growing up and what you were passionate about before your stroke?
Yeah. So before the stroke, well, first off, I had the stroke at 20. It was caused by a lot of medical malpractice and a lot of failed brain and abdominal surgeries, caused a brainstem stroke, and changed my life forever. Before the stroke, I was a college soccer athlete, very fit physically. Um, Physical health, good.
Hmm.
Every other aspect of my life was terrible. Um, Filled with subconscious self hatred from a man that abused me for a majority of my childhood. And, on the outside, my life looked perfect. On the
Uh-huh.
inside, I distracted myself from my life every day, going out partying,
Yeah.
um, drinking, smoking,
Yeah.
casual encounters with girls off dating apps, yada, yada, yada. And, the brain surgeries and the brainstem stroke that followed radically changed my life. And yeah, I lived with crippling depression and anxiety and severe, or not one say severe, a lot of limitations from the stroke for over 2.5 years. And
And
then I started learning the things that I now coach.
can you take us back to when that stroke happened? Where were you in your life?
It was the beginning of junior year of college. And first off, first ever surgery was in May of 2019, brain surgery.
Hmm.
It was supposed to be a one and done thing, very simple, no complications, the neurosurgeon said.
Why?
He,
Why was there a start with a brain surgery? What had happened that
yeah,
made
so
that happen?
found a brain cyst in 11th grade. The neurosurgeon at the time said it shouldn't grow. I can keep playing soccer. He said, watch hitting the ball though.
Hmm.
When I got to play college, that left my brain. I was the testosterone filled teenager
Of course, yeah, you're
who
going
was
all out.
pushing to play semi pro and then, yada, yada, yada.
Of
Uh-huh.
course.
Got hit really hard in the back of the head one day at the end of sophomore year, major concussion. Went and got a scan done. The neurosurgeon said that the cyst grew and it was blocking off spinal fluid flow, which caused hydrocephalus. And
Oh,
so my brain was swelling, according to him.
Uh-huh.
He had essentially fear-mongered my mom and I into getting that first surgery done. He said that I would be in a coma within 6 months if I didn't get it, and so went ahead with it.
But you
He
hear
said it was
that.
gonna be. He
Yeah.
said it was gonna be simple. It was gonna be a one and done thing, and that I'd be able to live my life like normal.
Uh-huh.
Went ahead with it.
sounds good. Yeah.
Um, yeah, and then 4 months later, woke up in the middle of the night.
Well,
I had gone septic. The
Oh,
shunt had gotten infected, and it was so the shunt drained spinal fluid from my brain into my abdomen.
oh,
That shunt got infected, and it was sending the infection all the way up to my brain. And those two surgeons, the neuro and abdominal surgeons, royally screwed up, caused many failed brain and abdominal surgeries, and put me on my deathbed a couple times.
I'm sure. How many
Um,
surgeries did you have?
I have no clue. During my time in the hospital, to be honest, I like to say that my body was in the hospital going through the trauma, and my consciousness was in the dark, quiet abyss or void.
Mm,
Um, the way that I explain this is whenever you have a night and you don't remember your dreams and you wake up the next day and you try to think of your dreams, what do you remember?
Not much.
yeah, you're maybe like
Nothing.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
sure.
Well, yeah,
I was
well,
trying to
so
pick stuff
the
out.
parts
Yeah.
that you don't remember when you try to think of that, you
Yeah.
see black, right?
Yes.
Think of your consciousness being submerged in that darkness. Nothing around you, nothing making noise, absolute peace.
Mhm.
When I started becoming conscious in this body, that didn't work. I had forgotten damn near everything about my life. My
Uh-huh.
memory was wiped. Couldn't walk, talk, or speak or anything. And I thought that I had reincarnated in a version of purgatory. I was waiting to get into heaven or hell.
Uh-huh.
Right.
And so,
Sorry, how long was this? So from when you first went into the hospital to when you are now waking up like this, how long was that?
so I got released beginning of November, I believe. My first memory was Christmas of 2019, and then I really started becoming conscious mid-January to end of January.
Okay.
And when I started becoming conscious, I had all these voices in my head.
Mm,
They told me to end my life because
okay.
everything I had worked for my entire life was gone.
Mhm.
Um, and I went to a Southern Baptist college. They pushed me away from God and religion because they were preaching all kinds of hate
Yeah.
and separation and yada yada yada,
Right.
preaching a hellfire and damnation for lack of a better term.
Yeah. Sometimes
And
that turns you the opposite way.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I became an atheist for 2.5 years or so.
Mhm.
Well, with those voices in my head and thinking that I was in purgatory, I wanted to make my trip quick in that purgatory. I wanted to get to wherever I was going to go. The only thing is, I didn't know where I would end up. I didn't know if I was going to go to heaven or hell.
Uh-huh.
And so one night when those voices were the loudest, I was so close to getting out of bed and making my way to get the gun and bite the bullet.
Right.
I reached out. I was like, before I go, I want to at least see if God is real. And so I reached out. I gave all of the negative energy, the negative emotions, the blame, the hatred, the all of that stuff up to God.
Mhm.
And I waited a couple days. I said, okay, let's see.
Yeah.
Within those couple days, something happened that helped me realize that I went through everything so I could help others doing or going through something similar.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, well, why the hell am I still here though? I don't know what to do.
Right.
And so I lived with crippling depression and anxiety for 2.5 years because I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to do this.
Yeah.
So what I'd started doing was sharing my story and helping others that way.
Mhm.
Yes, that helps. And then I came across a video of Mason Core back in the summer of 2022.
Right.
He shared a video that claimed how seed oils and ultra processed foods make us more sensitive to the sun. Since
Mhm.
I'm a full blown orangutan man ginger,
Yes.
who's always gotten burned in the sun within 5 minutes, no matter how long I had been out in the sun, I decided to try it. I swapped all the ultra processed foods that I was addicted to, like the candies, the um, sweets, the sodas, stuff like that, and I
Yeah.
swapped them for
Yeah, well,
natural
that's
versions.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I swapped them for natural foods with similar flavor profiles. So I relied on honey, syrup, um, fruits, all that stuff.
Mhm.
And I noticed a few things. One, I lost 30 pounds of fat in 3 months.
Wow.
Two, I had much more energy. I had more function in my left side. I could stay out in the sun longer without getting burnt. And then I was like, holy shit, this is real. What else is hidden from us?
Yeah, seriously.
And so I came across a coach that was on Mason's page. And I was like, okay, let me try this out. And so I
Uh-huh.
hired him and I learned so much about health from him. Had a
Good.
massive transformation. And then when I graduated from his coaching program, the coach is Captain Taylor Morgan.
Yeah, I was
And at
gonna
the
ask
time,
you, can you
yeah,
tell us more about
yeah,
how you found him and
yeah. So he and Mason are good friends.
yeah,
And
and more
one day
about
they,
Can you tell us about Mason as well, how you first
Yeah,
discovered
Mason Core, he's the founder of the Stampede Network, which is one of the few supplement companies that I actually trust because a lot of them put toxic chemical ingredients in their supplements. As far as
Uh-huh.
I know, as far as I've experienced, Mason supplements are very clean and they actually help you.
Gotcha.
Um,
Uh-huh.
so the Stampede Network, shameless plug, you can use, actually, you can go to my link in my TikTok or Instagram
Yeah, we'll link
and
everything
get
that
them.
you
Yeah.
have here,
Yeah.
yeah.
So Taylor,
Yes.
he is a holistic health and transformation coach. He taught me so much about health. And when I graduated from his program and went to the 2 immersions, I was like, I want to do this myself.
Uh-huh.
And please forgive me, I have like this mustache here that keeps sticking up. So I'm,
It's all
it's
good.
all right. Anyways,
I get it.
so I decided to start working on creating my own coaching program,
Yeah.
to help others.
Uh-huh.
And so I took what worked best from Taylor's, made it my own, and or put in my own words, added my own stuff, and I added even more stuff because at the time I was focusing on mindset and depression and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and I created my own coaching program.
Great.
And then sometime, I believe it was 2025, I was on a uh, discovery meeting with a potential client, and I came across an article, "The Benefits of BDNF for Stroke Recovery." That perfectly explained why everything that Taylor taught me, why everything I had learned after Taylor worked so well.
It's all
Because
clicking.
BDNF is a neurotransmitter or a protein or something that your brain makes that increases neuroplasticity. And if you don't know, neuroplasticity is how your brain rewires its connection to your body.
Mhm.
It's how adaptable your brain is.
It's unbelievable, yeah.
And speaking to me right now, looking at me right now, you probably say, "Oh, you've never had a stroke."
Yeah.
You can look at my Instagram, my TikTok, and my Facebook, and you can see that I had a stroke and a lot of other brain damage done because of the surgeries.
Well,
Um,
did you have a lot of, when you had your stroke, and, were you able to speak and talk, or did that affect you at all, or how was that
When you were first
when you were
waking up.
when you first
yeah, so there's a video of me that mom took on the day that I got released from the hospital. She said, "You're going," in the video, I said, "I'm going home," and I said, "Peace out, Girl Scout." I was very weak, very slow, very quiet. So I had some ability to talk.
Mhm.
When I started becoming conscious though, it was harder though.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Um, anyways,
Yeah.
BDNF, that neurotransmitter or whatever your brain makes in order to make your brain more adaptable
Right.
and rewire its connections. When you do things like there are certain foods that claim to increase BDNF. I don't really rely on that. I just focus on helping my body make more BDNF and better
Mhm.
cells.
Uh-huh.
So BDNF can be increased by, yes, exercise, which is like the main approach for every stroke recovery place. And there's more. So you can improve your diet, improve or implement the natural foods that I mentioned, um, improve your sleep. You
Mhm.
can get outside, get sun exposure consciously, build your solar callus. If you don't know what that is, look into it. Ground, the ground gives off a healing frequency. Be sure to be aware of anything that could harm you.
Yes.
Um, Cold exposure, you can improve your mind, how you think, because what you focus on grows. Okay. If you focus on the
Mhm.
negatives, if you
Yeah.
focus on what the people that told you you would never recover said, if you focus on that and believe it, that will
Mhm.
become your reality because
Yeah, yeah,
whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right.
Yeah.
So if you think you can't, that becomes more of your reality. If you start
Exactly.
thinking you can and
Yeah.
start using that mentality with the things I'm sharing with you and what's in my coaching, that will become much more likely.
Mhm. Yeah. We always bring up how, doctors sometimes they use we call it the P word, the plateau word, and
Yeah.
and yeah, there is no
Yeah.
there is
plateau.
no plateau,
No,
and
absolutely.
But they keep telling you there's a plateau, there's a plateau.
6 months, you're gonna reach
Yeah,
this level and
yeah,
whatnot, and
I want y'all and everybody watching this to know your body is designed to heal. If you look
Mhm.
at nature, our bodies are made of the same things that nature's made out of.
Yeah.
Nature heals. The animals in nature heal.
Yeah.
Nature, when you look at old cities, old buildings, what happens with nature? Nature starts growing into them and implementing that into part of it.
Yeah.
Nature can heal, animals can heal, so why can't we? We can heal. What's missing is our bodies are lacking the things that help it make better cells and more BDNF. And
Right.
so
Mhm.
when we give our bodies better things to help it make better cells and more BDNF, then our bodies will take that opportunity to start healing more. All it like it know your body knows what to do. You're just not giving it the right things.
Well, what happens is it started this way, and then when you have your stroke, it changes, and now
Uh-huh.
it's gotta come back. So
Yep.
it comes in little pieces, a little
Absolutely.
here, a little
And
there.
and it may not get back like this. It may get
Right,
back like this, you know?
right.
However, it's adapting, it's
It's
rewiring, right?
that's what's cool about it, is it finds a new route. If
Absolutely.
it can't go straight, it'll go left and then right. It might not be just not the same as it used to be, but it found a way.
Yeah, it's not a puzzle piece, it's like a drawing. You know, you can always
Yeah.
add on to a drawing. You can always change a drawing. So,
So being a college athlete, how do you think that prepared you to go through all of this?
actually the college athlete experience didn't prepare me at all. It
Oh,
was the
yeah?
traumas that I experienced through my childhood
Gotcha.
that prepared me.
Uh-huh.
Because losing my identity, losing my personality, losing all of the memories that I had that gradually come back, and I still get memories that come back. So I mentioned that my memory was wiped, right?
Right.
My memory started coming back. I remember the first one came back whenever Papa he mentioned something about scar tissue, and it just like shot into my mind. The infection happened because scar tissue built up at the end of the tube,
Okay.
and then ever since then, keywords unlock new memories in my brain. It's interesting.
Oh. Yeah, did that
Um,
that happen
Yeah,
to
that
you?
happens to me. I'll think, yeah, all of a sudden I'll hear something will happen, or I'll see something,
mhm.
and it was like, wait, did that really happen?
It it
Was it
it's like a
real?
key that yeah, it's like a key
Yeah,
that unlocks the door. Yeah, it's
yeah, was it
interesting.
real, or did I really do?
I heard that's common among people that are neurodivergent or have experienced a lot of brain trauma.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, that happens to me, okay? I'd say, it happens to me, a lot of times, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're like, "Did that really happen? Was
yeah,
I
yeah,
was I
but
asleep during this?"
yeah,
Uh-huh.
was that a real thing?
A real
Yeah.
memory or a
Yeah,
dream?
yeah, I
Yeah.
never
Crazy.
I never know.
You were able to speak somewhat, but how was your body physically when you were coming out of it? You had lost movement on your
My
right
left side.
you
My
lost
left side.
movement on your left side.
Yeah, so the trauma and the stroke happened on the right side, and the stroke
Okay.
affected my brainstem. I believe it was the right side of my brainstem. I have no clue. Um,
And
and I also don't know what type of stroke it was. I was told by the eye specialist that ordered a CT scan on my brain that I had a stroke and it affected my brainstem.
oh,
Um,
yeah.
so physically, the hardest thing was waking up every day and trying to get out of bed and
Mhm.
then doing the therapies that they had me do.
Right.
I remember nothing from my therapy at the hospital. I remember a little bit of the therapy that they had me do at
Mhm.
home therapy. Um, I felt frustrated because I was like, I was a college athlete. Like I was like, I know how to work my body. Why the hell won't it work? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would
Uh-huh.
always get mad at myself, and then I eventually realized or had a realization. I was like, my body, my left side was basically reborn. And I was like, if I treat it like I do a toddler and I encourage it instead of bash it whenever it messes up,
Yeah.
maybe that could help take a lot of the stress away. So I started doing that. And guess what? My recovery started speeding up
Yeah.
because it took a lot of the stress away because stress can build up in your body and cause chronic health conditions and impede your recovery. So whenever I did that and the stress started going away, my body was able to start getting better.
Yeah.
Um, all of the therapies, though, all the therapies, the exercises, all that stuff only got me limited function back in my left side. I could do basic things. It took me
Mhm.
months to relearn how to jog.
Yeah.
I couldn't sprint, which frustrated the hell out of me.
I can
Yeah.
imagine, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And I could do basic things with my foot and my arm, my hand and my arm. I couldn't do this though.
Yeah.
This is my left hand. Um, this stuff started coming
Looks
back.
perfectly fine to me
Yeah,
now.
this stuff started coming back when I improved my diet because my body
Okay.
was able to make better cells and more neuroplasticity. I was able to do more things. And I mean, I can even do well, kind of do it with my toes. I was never able to actually like roll my toes on my left foot. And yeah, I mean,
You were able to play soccer at least again for fun. I'm sure that was just
actually,
it was just an accomplishment in yourself just to take a soccer
yeah.
ball
So
in.
actually, I cannot play soccer because I have that shunt in my brain, and any kind of impact to to my brain could mess the shunt up, which could cause more surgeries and more damage. So I'm waiting until I get the shunt out at some point to start playing in Sunday leagues again, because I am gonna kill in the field. So
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
looking forward to that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, I didn't mean you actually back on the field playing. I just meant
Oh, yeah.
Being
being
able
able
to
to kick a
kick the
ball.
ball
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can.
I'm sure just that must have brought so much joy to you being able to do that again.
Yeah, it did.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I know you mentioned that there was a lot of depression and a lot of anxiety. So how did you navigate that at the beginning?
I distracted myself. Well,
Yeah.
first I took antidepressants,
Mhm.
and they worked really well for a while. And then after about 4 or 5 months on them, they removed um, all like my ability to even have emotions at all. And I
Yeah.
felt like a robot, and then I felt
Yeah.
I started
suicidal again.
yeah.
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 And then, so I got off of the antidepressants and I decided to raw dog life, going back into the old habits of distracting myself with video games,
Okay.
porn, casual encounters with girls off dating apps, partying, drinking, smoking, yada, yada, yada.
Mhm.
And that lasted for about 2.5 years.
Oh,
Yeah.
Then I came across this information.
at that point, how was your relationship with your old friends and getting new friends and so on? Yeah, I mean,
So,
especially the old friends. Did they come back to
yeah.
you or
Initially they did. And, I had imposter syndrome because I tried to act how I did. And I acted a lot more reactive than I did before the stroke
Mhm.
and everything. And so I pushed a lot of my old friends away. One, I was an athlete. One, I was not an athlete anymore. Two, very reactive, very negative, and so they started distancing themselves from me, and I didn't know why. And so that gave me more depression. So
So that
yeah,
it was really you doing that, not them to you, is what
yep.
yeah.
And at that point, I was in the victim mindset. So I was like, why are they doing this to me? I
Well,
didn't have any kind of self um,
Awareness.
awareness at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, well, I always said that, "How come this happened to me?" I've
Hmm.
in the beginning, I
And
always
that's
said that, yeah.
that's another thing. Whenever I was deep in depression and I was close to biting the bullet, I always asked myself, why me? Why did I go through this?
Yeah,
Why didn't God choose anybody else
Yeah.
or do this to anybody else? And then whenever I gave everything up to God and had that realization a couple days later, I changed it to why not me?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't it be me who gets to go through this to help others? Why wouldn't it be me? Because if any of my family members would have went through that, you bet your ass I would have said I wish it was me. You
yeah,
bet
I
your ass
agree.
I would
Yeah.
have.
Uh-huh.
yeah.
No, I mean,
So
you're right.
exactly, like, so why wouldn't it be me that gets to go through this and help others? Why wouldn't it be me who gets to go through this and be a light at the end of the tunnel?
Mhm.
Because there's so much negativity around stroke recovery because there's a lot of doctors that give negative
Like we said, yeah.
expectations for recovery. Like for me, I was told I would never walk, talk, or function again if I survived.
Right.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah, I
likely
mean,
be.
he
They said
basically
they
had
said
the
I would
same.
likely be a vegetable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he had died on the
Yeah,
table, I think, once or
they
twice,
told me, they told me
and
that I died twice, and actually, I was out
wow.
for 5 weeks.
Yep.
Mhm.
I was
In a
unconscious
coma.
in a coma for 5
Yep.
weeks, and, so, when I came back, it was like, I didn't, I what happened? I didn't realize it was 5 weeks, it could have been, 5 minutes at that
Yeah.
so, yeah.
I mean, that's how it was for me. When I started actually becoming conscious, I it seemed like I had laid down in my bed in my apartment with my friends.
Yeah.
I woke up in my grandparents' room or the spare bedroom
Yeah.
Mhm.
with my body wasn't working, and I was like, "Why the fuck am I here? Like, why is this all happening?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
Oh, that's
Wow.
crazy.
So, at what point did you realize that you were gonna take things into control in your hands and make this awesome transformation into what we now know as Captain Orangutan?
Yeah, Captain Orangutan came about. Captain Orangutan was born um, toward the end of my time in the Captain's Lifestyle program.
Uh-huh.
I think it was either the first or second immersion that I went to in Minnesota that um, so I've always been a very joking kind of guy, you know,
Uh-huh.
and I always jokingly called myself an orangutan man in the captain's chat. And at the immersion, I was just like, they were all like, "Yo, you're Captain Orangutan." I was like, "Hell yeah, I'm Captain Orangutan," and then it's just stuck ever since.
That's cool.
And yeah, it's very unique, and yeah,
Yeah, cool.
it'll be awesome when more people learn how to spell orangutan though.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm like, I was
Too
looking at
too much for me.
your Instagram account. I was like, orangutan, pronouncing
Yeah.
it. Yeah, not
Mhm.
easy, but
Yeah.
it's definitely a unique identity.
Oh
So
yeah,
you got
absolutely.
that, yeah, that going for you.
Yeah.
So you mentioned cold exposure. So how did you get into that, and how did that help you with everything?
Yeah, so that was part of Taylor's coaching. And
Cool.
actually, before I even joined or the coaching even started, they were talking about in the group chat about people taking cold showers. And I was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
And um, I started off by ending my warm showers with cold water. And then eventually, after about a month or two, I started fully taking cold showers. And I've noticed that cold showers are the greatest antidepressant. Greatest. Because it's the hardest challenge you'll face. And you do it ideally first thing in the morning. It helps increase, it's like delayed gratification. You know what that is?
Yeah. Uh
Sure.
huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Delayed gratification. So you suffer for a short period of time
Hmm.
and you enjoy the rest of your day. I had incredibly intense road rage. When I started taking cold showers, though, that dramatically decreased
Wow.
because, I've been taking cold showers first thing every morning or almost every morning, I'll say, since the end of 2022.
Wow.
And it's March of 2026 right now. So
Yep.
a
Right.
little
Yeah.
over 3 years.
Crazy.
And it's, that has been transformational in my life. Now, cold exposure is different for men and women
Hmm.
since men are on a 24-hour hormonal cycle and women are on a 28-day hormonal cycle. I have some resources in my coaching for women with cold exposure, and I haven't looked too much into it myself yet.
Hmm.
So
Does
there
it
are resources out there, though.
does it do anything for paralysis?
So, from what I remember of my research that I did a while ago, I believe cold exposure can stimulate the vagus nerve. And if I remember correctly, the vagus nerve goes a majority of the way down your body.
Hmm.
Okay.
And when you stimulate the vagus nerve, it can actually help get more function back. So at in the beginning of my recovery, actually for the first 2.5 years before I started taking cold showers, or the first 3 years,
Yeah.
um, it was hard to feel temperature or like sensations on my left side, other than like
Yeah.
Yeah.
actually physically touching
I've
things.
I've heard that before. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I started taking cold showers and immersing my left side in that intense temperature.
Uh huh.
I noticed that
You're
the
getting
feeling
that
started
feeling.
coming back more. Yeah, because I was stimulating it.
Yeah.
I was giving it I, almost like exposure therapy, or there's another term where like you go very intense and then you whatever. Anyways,
Yeah.
yeah, I did start getting more feeling and sensation back in my left side when I started taking cold showers because it stimulated my vagus nerve, I believe.
Oh,
Cool. Yeah.
is that from going? A lot of people go from hot to cold.
Uh-huh.
They'll take a hot shower and then turn it on to cold. I mean,
Yep.
is that the same type of thing?
The drastic
Yeah, I mean
change.
that's how you can start. That's how I
Mhm.
started.
Yeah.
And at that immersion, we went from the sauna to the ice bath,
Yeah,
and
that's what I was
yeah,
thinking.
it's
Yeah.
that can have benefits as well.
Mhm.
Cold water in some way though definitely helps. Now, like I said, be conscious about it. Don't just jump off the way. Don't go in the middle of the ocean or in the
Yeah.
middle of winter
Right.
and jump in a pond for the first time ever. No, start off slow.
Mhm.
Do it for a little bit after a warm shower, and then gradually get into it.
Totally. I wanted to ask, when did social media become a big part of your philosophy and your plan?
So I had started posting at the end of 2022, I believe, and I was just posting to share my story, and
Yeah.
at that time, my voice was really high pitched and yada yada,
Yeah.
and then as I went through Taylor's program, my voice started lowering because I started helping my body heal, and I started actually being able to think and stuff,
Uh-huh.
um, and started like stepping into who I am more
Mhm.
because I held myself back so much,
Right.
and um, yeah, so like I was just posting a post, and then
Yeah,
eventually
you wanted to tell your story. I mean, you
yeah, I just
wanted.
wanted to tell my story, and then
Yeah.
I started sharing the stuff that I know after I graduated Taylor's program.
Yeah, so
And then
that's what I was
I
gonna.
became more stroke. I became more focused on stroke recovery at the about like April or March of 2024.
Yes. So
And
so I was gonna ask,
so
so is that when you started your program officially around then? And can you kinda share the philosophy behind it and who it's really designed for?
yeah, so my coaching didn't start until the end of 2023 or 2024, I believe. Um, because I appeared on a podcast um, with Bill Gassiamas. I forgot exactly what the podcast is called. Please forgive me. And it's my first ever podcast recorded. I was still focused on depression and anxiety at that time. And this man reached out to me. He listened to the podcast episode and he wanted to learn more. He wanted to sign up for coaching. I was like, okay. I hadn't built the coaching thing yet. I hadn't
Yeah.
even started on it. And so when I got that message, I started working on it. And I think it was the beginning of 2024, maybe the end of 2023, whenever I started the very first rendition, which was focused on depression, anxiety, and mindset, stuff like that.
Mhm.
And then at the beginning of 2024, I believe, was when it started becoming more focused on or 2025 was
Uh-huh.
when it started becoming more focused on stroke recovery.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. So looking back on your journey from athlete to stroke survivor, what's the
Uh,
biggest life lesson that you've learned?
Hmm.
Life is temporary. Every single thing in this life is temporary.
Mhm.
If you're an athlete, if you're very successful, cherish it because 5 years from now, you may not have it anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you
Everything does change.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And so there's only one thing that's constant that will happen in this life, and that's change. Nothing stays the same.
Right.
Things die, people get older, people die, careers end, relationships end, all that stuff. The best thing that you can do, whether in a good or bad place, is just realize that things are temporary and fully be present. Because when you're in a bad place, it feels miserable and you want to get out of it. However, when you're out of that bad place, you may look back on your time in this bad place and you're like, damn, I'm strong as hell for going through that.
Yeah. You just
That's what
want
Exactly.
I
to.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just want to keep going. You just want to keep going straight. You know,
Yep.
keep
Exactly.
going. Keep going on. Keep going on.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with
No,
that.
I
Totally.
agree, yeah, I mean, when I reflect on where he was, where our family was, and how far we've all come, and well, especially
Yeah.
how far he's come, but just how I mean, we were so unprepared when it happened, obviously.
Yeah.
Nothing we
We
knew
didn't know
nothing about
anything. Yeah.
strokes, we didn't know anything about
Neither
aphasia,
did I.
and
Yeah.
so, I mean, it's been a journey for all of us,
Yeah.
not just the survivor, as a caregiver, as a family, and so it really is
Hmm.
amazing to reflect sometimes and see
Oh, yeah.
where you
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it's just been yeah, it's been a long time, and again, I always say I have 2 birthdays.
Yeah.
I have my birthday, and then I have my January, February, March, my April 30th, which is coming up next month, and
Hmm.
that's my 10-year, that's my new 10-year one. So I
Yeah.
really,
It's your rebirthing.
so
That's
I
what I
yeah,
call it.
that was my rebirth. So, that's how I look at it, and
Hell yeah.
that's how I keep moving forward. So, I wanna become 21 on that one.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
For you.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Mhm.
That's what I'm shooting for. So,
Mm.
that's how I go.
So,
Hell yeah.
before we wrap this up, for someone who just starting recovery, what would you say to them right now?
Your body is designed to heal. No matter what anybody says, no matter what anybody tries to get you to think, your body is designed to heal. All that it needs is things to help it make better cells and more BDNF. It's very simple. A lot of them are very affordable. You can improve your diet, improve your sleep, cold exposure, get outside, get conscious sun exposure, ground, improve your mind, how you think, what you focus on, how you view yourself, your life, your recovery potential. Because when you work on all these things and more that's in my coaching, you will help give your body and your mind what it needs in order to make this your reality.
Mhm.
Yep.
And it's very possible. I know I was likely in your shoes.
Mhm.
And I'm telling you right now from somebody who was skin and bone in the hospital that couldn't walk, couldn't talk, couldn't use my left arm, couldn't even think. You
Yep.
see me on this podcast right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like
Wouldn't
I'm
know.
speaking and people tell me that with the way that I'm talking, they never knew that I had a stroke.
Yeah.
No
And
clue.
I'm like,
Yeah.
because I helped my brain heal. I've had people tell me that, you can't heal brain damage, it's permanent. And I'm like, yeah, okay. And your brain can rewire its connections.
Yeah.
And that's what it
I'm
does.
proof of that.
Yeah.
I've had
Both of
the
you are.
surgeries.
Yeah.
They did surgeries in
Yeah.
every single lobe of my brain, and the stroke affected my brainstem.
Yeah. I
I'm
mean,
acting like I have very little brain damage, if any at all.
No one would know.
well, that's
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, that's,
Because our bodies are designed to heal, and our brain is designed to rewire and adapt.
Exactly.
I mean,
And so,
I still see, I still see my
The
where,
scar.
I still see, where they cut me.
mhm.
So, and I mean, so yeah, they definitely went into my brain.
Yeah,
You know?
absolutely. I mean, it's like, so the first surgery was here. I think this is I forget exactly what they're called. I think this is parietal lobe. This was the first surgery.
Uh-huh.
The second shunt was placed up here in my frontal lobe, and I was told that this is likely what caused the stroke. And then the third shunt was placed back here, and I had ports and shit placed in my temporal lobe and all that stuff.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
And then,
yeah.
like, the stroke affected my brainstem. So every single lobe on my brain and the brainstem was affected and damaged in some way, and I'm fully coherent.
Yeah, and yeah, you just had it just had it had a
Rewire.
had a
Yeah.
rewire,
Exactly.
restructure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like that drawing that I mentioned. You can edit a drawing, you can improve or change a drawing however you want.
Yeah.
That's what my brain did.
Yep.
That's what your brain can do.
Exactly.
and that's what it's been doing.
Yep. So
Absolutely.
so do you want to share your socials really quickly and your website?
Well, I don't have a website right now. I do have my link tree and my socials though.
Gotcha.
TikTok cap_o_. That's CAP_o_. Instagram captain_orangutan. That's ORANGUTAN.
Love it.
Facebook is Captain Orangutan, ORANGUTAN. And yeah, I
Okay.
have my stroke recovery coaching group, school group, and my link tree, which is in my profile, my socials. I also offer one-on-one coaching. And if you want one-on-one coaching, you can reach out to me with a DM with coaching, and we can talk about that.
Sounds good. And we'll have all your links. We'll share
we'll put all the
everything.
links on there.
Yeah.
So you
Cool.
know that.
All right.
We're
Well,
good.
Captain Orangutan, thank you so much
Yep.
for being with us.
Yeah, we
Oh
appreciate
yeah, it's my
you.
pleasure. Thank y'all for having me on. And
Okay.
thank y'all for being such amazing young men.